Mazda knows that full-size and mid-size crossovers are a very competitive class, and to compete, you must keep your products consistently fresh and updated. Problem was, Mazda CX-9 was one of the oldest crossovers in its class, not seeing a full redesign for over 7 years. However, just last year, the CX-9 got a full redesign, receiving all of Mazda's latest technology, and even though not much has changed for 2017, overall you will find the new CX-9 is a pleasing alternative to other mainstream crossovers. So let's go ahead and check out and take a closer look at this 2017 Mazda CX-9. Now the CX-9 here takes on the Fob design language, which I'm a huge fan of, and that debuted on Mazdas a few years ago, but as you could tell, it features very evocative styling with very sharp and angry looking headlights, and it's a very aggressive appearance that gives the CX-9 pretty good road presence and certainly makes a statement. And optional are LED daytime running lights as well as LED headlights too. But it's undeniably one of the best looking crossovers to ever come out. Now here goes the key fob design for the CX-9. You have your lock, unlock, your power tailgate, as well as your panic alarm. Our trim of the CX-9 is also the touring trim. Now this color is known as the deep crystal blue. You also do have smart key access on the driver's door, as well as the front passenger door. And with our touring trim, you also do get a full-on leather interior. And you have your power driver seat controls with power recline as well as power lumbar. And it is perforated too. All right, now stepping on inside of the CX-9, the step-in height is pretty good. And overall, you'll find a pretty high quality looking interior that's inspired by German luxury auto manufacturers, and you can really tell that by the head unit that pops out and sticks out, and it really looks like it came straight from Audi. And then also this controller down here looks like it came straight from Mercedes-Benz. But it's not a bad looking interior, and it certainly feels upscale inside of here. I would certainly opt for the red leather that's available on higher end trims, which gives the interior much more contrast, but really nice looking. Now you do have push button ignition. Just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to start. Comes as standard equipment on every CX-9. And what you're hearing there is a 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. You also have a full leather wrap steering wheel. Coming to your transmission, 6-speed automatic transmission here with manual shiftability. Pretty interesting that Mazda went with a very traditional 6-speed. Most crossovers now are going to 8 speeds, 9 speeds, and even 10 speeds. And putting the vehicle into reverse will display your rear view camera with guidance signs. No trajectory, however. But you could change the brightness of the rear view camera as well as the contrast and the color too, which is pretty cool. There's many different settings here. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on the headlights and the hazards. Let's go ahead and check out the exterior of the CX-9. Automatic driver's side window. Let's go ahead and pop up the hood and check out the engine bay. Heated exterior mirrors with LED turn signal indicators, and you do have blind spot detection. You also do have these okay looking 18-inch alloy wheels. They certainly won't offend anyone, but not bad looking either. Coming up front, you will find LED headlights. Powering the CX-9 here is a 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that delivers excellent fuel economy numbers as well as a reasonable amount of power. You're looking at 227 horsepower as well as 310 pound-feet of torque, with EPA estimates being a pretty good 21 in the city and 27 on the highway. You can also go with front-wheel drive, or all-wheel drive is also available. But if you're looking for a pretty peppy powertrain with reasonable fuel efficiency, the CX-9 will certainly not disappoint. Now, competitors of the CX-9, you have the vehicles in the mid-size to full-size crossover class. This includes the likes of the Dodge Durango, Toyota Highlander, Honda Pilot, Chevrolet Traverse. You also do have the Ford Explorer, and maybe you even can consider the Jeep Grand Cherokee. Really nice looking side profile. And coming to the rear of the CX-9, you have more of that Kodo design language with beautiful looking LED taillights and a shark fin antenna, as well as a LED third brake light and dual exhaust tips, which look fantastic. EPA estimates, like I said, 21 city, 27 highway. Total vehicle price is $38,915. Overall vehicle score hasn't been rated yet. And you have all of your basic power necessities, including power windows, power door locks, and your power mirrors. Interior quality in the CX-9 is quite impressive. You'll find soft touch materials everywhere inside of this vehicle, including on the door panels here and on the dashboard too, of course. And it's pretty well built with pretty stellar build quality. And you'll find that many of the panels inside of here feel very sturdy, and they don't have very many panel gaps. But overall, really impressed with the interior of the CX-9. Love the steering wheel design as well. Pretty stylish, and I love the chrome on that surrounds the buttons here. We do have steering wheel mounted audio controls, as well as Bluetooth phone controls and cruise control. Of course, you can get the CX-9 with all of the latest and greatest safety technologies, including adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning, blind spot detection, and rear cross traffic alert. We also do have dual zone automatic climate control. Not a huge fan of where the buttons are located, however. They're a little far within the driver's reach, as they're pretty low down here. They're mounted pretty low. But they do feature pretty intuitive controls with pretty great knobs and buttons, very traditional. And you have your temperatures, fan speed levels, and then your different zones. Pretty easy to figure out. We also do have 3-stage heated seats for the driver and the front passenger. You also do have your storage cubby down here that features plenty of storage space. And you'll find your electronic parking brake, which comes as standard equipment. And then your main controller for the head unit, which I'll get to in just a minute. Dual cup holders. And one thing I'm really disappointed about, probably the only part in terms of its interior quality I'm disappointed about, is right here. I mean, this is really hard to the touch, and I expect this to be much softer for a center console lid. Not a whole lot of center console storage. Some crossovers in this class do offer more center console storage, but you will find 2 USB charging ports, an SD card slot, and an auxiliary input. The seats are also fairly comfortable. They provide a good amount of thigh support, and they'll hold you in place fairly well. Pretty good for long road trips. Visibility is another thing. The A-pillars are pretty wide, and then glass area on the front windows certainly can be better, but when you get to rearward visibility, it can be a little bit of a challenge. At least a rear view camera does come as standard equipment. Love how it's lined with felt, very high quality. Now, in terms of room and, you know, the driving position and all, I found a pretty comfortable driving position overall. But I feel like the room inside of here feels slightly claustrophobic compared to other crossovers in this class. The Honda Pilot certainly feels very roomy inside, but then again, the Honda Pilot is also significantly larger than the CX-9 here. And also the Chevrolet Traverse feels much larger inside. But the CX-9 is sort of in the middle between a mid-size and a full-size crossover when it comes to its roominess. Now coming to the gauges in the instrument cluster, nice looking set of gauges, but I would love to see Mazda put a TFT instrument cluster on the CX-9. After all, this is their flagship of their crossovers here. On the left though, you will find your tach, and in the center you will find your speedometer. And on the right, it's a little information center that shows you your fuel range, your trip information, exterior temperature readout, coolant temperature, as well as your fuel gauge. Pretty basic stuff here. Now coming to the infotainment system and the main head unit, I love this system because it's very intuitive and easy to use and responsive. One of the best in the business with great graphics and the rendering. And like I said, it's all controlled by the buttons down here and the buttons surrounding it. Or you can use it as a touchscreen if you want to impress your friends. Pretty nice. And German manufacturers, auto manufacturers, don't do that with their head units, which is pretty interesting that Mazda decided to go this route. But your different audio sources do include all of the norm: AM, FM, XM satellite radio. You also do have your external media devices, which include Bluetooth streaming audio, your USB port with iPod integration, and your auxiliary input. You also do have internet streaming radio, including your Stitcher, Pandora, and your AHA. And we also do have navigation, but you have to actually get that through your Mazda dealer as an accessory. And then we have your applications, which you have your HD radio traffic map. And then you also do have a fuel economy monitor, which gives you a little bar graph of your fuel economy data. And then your vehicle status monitor, like your maintenance schedules, like your oil change, tire rotation. And then you also do have your communication. Hook up your Bluetooth phone, have all of your contacts stored on here, and have an integrated dial pad as well. And then you also do have your settings. There's many different settings that you could change here, from the display, the safety, sounds, clock, vehicle, like your turn signals, lighting, door locks, and your devices, system. Pretty cool though. There's also plenty of luxury features available for the CX-9, including a heated steering wheel. You can also get ventilated front seats, as well as rain sensing windshield wipers, which could be pretty useful since it is raining right now. But there's lots of features available for the CX-9, as well as technology too. Now, perhaps one of the reasons why you'll choose the CX-9 is because Mazdas are known for having very sharp handling and are known for being engaging to drive. And the CX-9 certainly does not disappoint. It certainly is the driver's car of the crossover, mid-size to full-size crossover class. It offers very agile handling, very sharp handling too. Feels very nimble, predictable around corners. It makes you want to throw this vehicle around corners, which you can't really say that about many crossovers, such as like vehicles like the Honda Pilot, Toyota's Highlander, and even the Ford Explorer. Vehicles like those, you just don't feel that. You don't feel like you're, you know, it doesn't feel like a driver's oriented vehicle like the CX-9 does. I mean, the CX-9 just feels very buttoned down, and especially with that 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, it makes for a pleasant driving experience. It's very joyful too. But overall, if you're looking for a vehicle that's engaging to drive in the mid-size to full-size crossover class, the CX-9 will not disappoint. And the ride quality won't beat you up either. It's fairly compliant, especially over rough road surfaces. Alright, now let's go ahead and shut it down. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the vehicle. Let's go ahead and check out the cargo space as well as the second row passenger space, which are huge aspects for a crossover. Materials do follow through in the rear somewhat. Slightly soft to the touch on the upper door panel and soft to the touch on the armrest. Now to fold down the second row seats, just pull up on this little lever right here and then you just push it right down. Easy as that. And you also do have a third row back there, which does feature cup holders and storage pockets. However, the third row is certainly only recommended for small children. It's really tight, and it's one of the smallest in this class. The second row seats also do recline, which is nice. Now sitting back here in the CX-9, the second row certainly has plenty of rear seat legroom and headroom too. You also do have rear air vents and automatic climate control back here, which is nice, and dual mat pockets. All three headrests are also adjustable too, and you have a rear center armrest with cup holders and a little storage cubby, as well as 2 USB charging ports. I have never found that in a vehicle. Pretty cool. And the seats themselves are also fairly comfortable too. Overall, not too shabby. The second row is certainly very roomy, but the third row is certainly a different story. All right. You also do have a power tailgate. Cargo space also lags compared to crossovers in this class. It's just a little on the smaller side. Kind of feels like a compact crossover back here. Almost as roomy as a Honda CR-V, to be honest. But all seats do fold down, which is nice. Powered passenger seat with power recline. You also do have a 12-volt power outlet right there. So the 2017 Mazda CX-9 is an excellent choice for a crossover with its agile handling, sharp styling, and loads of features available. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.